This one is not the first video I made about government waste, but Rand Paul put out his 2024 Festivus Report the other day. As you know, I have a lot of problems with federal spending, and now it's time to hear all about them. The federal government spent $10 billion on maintaining, leasing, and furnishing almost entirely empty buildings. A Florida man stole $8 million in COVID-19 relief funds to buy an island. The Department of the Interior, DOI, spent $12 million on a Las Vegas pickleball complex. Taxpayers Fund a Disinformation Index. The Department of State, DOS, wasted $330,000 to fund censorship of nonliberal and conservative media. The Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, awarded a $2 million grant to study kids looking at Facebook ads about food. The Department of State, DOS, spent $108,272 on a non-functioning hotel. Congress spent $15 million to turn the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, into an unconstitutional force to prepare, file, and audit your hard-earned money. HHS spends nearly $500,000 on a depressing study of lonely, starved rats. The Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, spent $419,470 to determine if lonely rats seek cocaine more than happy rats. The Department of Energy, DOE, spent $15.5 billion to push Americans toward electric vehicles they don't want. The National Endowment for the Arts, NEA, spent $365,000 to promote circuses in city parks. The Department of State, DOS, spent $3 million for girl-centered climate action in Brazil. The Department of State, DOS, paid the Royal Film Commission $873,584 for movies in Jordan. The United States Department of the Treasury, USDT, granted a failed trucking company a $700 million. The National Science Foundation, NSF, spent $288,563 to ensure bird-watching groups have safe spaces. Americans are paying $892 billion in fiscal year 2024 on the interest on Uncle Sam's credit card hashtag to handouts in Ethiopia. The Department of State, DOS, spent $500,000 to expand the U.S. Embassy in Ethiopia's hashtag US Invests in Ethiopian social media campaign to a larger national public relations campaign. The Department of State, DOS, spent $2.1 million for Paraguayan border security. Since 2015, the National Endowment for the Arts, NEA, has awarded $385,000 for art displays. The Department of Agriculture, USDA, is spending $20 million on the Fertilize Right initiative to advance fertilizer use in Pakistan, Vietnam, Colombia, and Brazil. The National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, NIAID, and U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, spent $2.24 million on COVID experiments. The Department of State, DOS, is spending $123,066 to teach Kyrgyzstan youth how to go viral. The National Institutes of Health, NIH, spent $1,513,299 on a study of waste and cruelty cats dieted. The Department of Defense, DoD, spent $10,851,439 on Orwellian cat experiments more ducking waste in Mexico. The Department of the Interior, DOI, spent $720,479 on wetland conservation projects for ducks in Mexico. The Agency for International Development, USAID, is spending $20 million on Alan Sim Sim, a new Sesame Street show in Iraq. The Department of State, DOS, sent $253,653 to Bosnia to fight misinformation. The Navy sinks billions on LCS vessels. The U.S. Navy is set to waste almost $90 billion on ineffective Navy vessels. The National Endowment for the Arts, NEA, awarded the Bearded Ladies Cabaret a $10,000 grant to support a cabaret show on ice skates focused on climate change. The Department of State, DOS, allocated $32,596.12 for breakdancing. Hard to believe, please see the link in the comments. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe for more videos.